Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. And actually, there's a fourth way you can make a donation, and I haven't had this happen, but today it did. I had a gentleman come up, Frank Losky from iMac Industrial, from a wonderful town of Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania. I know that town very well, and I think I'll have to send Mr. Losky an email thanking him. But he came up, he saw me, he knew I was from RSBN. He gave us a $100 cash donation. So that's the first cash donation I have had given to me at a rally. Maybe it won't be the last, but thank you very much, Mr. Losky from iMac Industrial. So go over the schedule of the rallies that are coming. You know, we had 4 today. We've got the nightcap here in Montoursville. Earlier we had Bucks County, Reading, and then Butler, which just ended. And tomorrow, going to be out of Pennsylvania. All of today's rallies in Pennsylvania. Starting tomorrow, going to be visiting other states. Macomb County, Michigan will be starting at 11. Dubuque, Iowa at 1 Central Standard Time. Hickory, North Carolina, 5:30 Eastern Time. Rome, Georgia at 8:30, and then the Ultra Nightcap at Opelika, Florida at 11 p.m. That rally could stretch into Monday, which technically would make it the first rally on Monday, followed by 5 more that are already scheduled, which are Fayetteville, North Carolina at 11:30, Scranton, Pennsylvania at 2 p.m. I'm actually going to be at that one. My team here, we're going to be going to Scranton after this rally, so you'll see us again there. Traverse City, Michigan will be coming up at 5, followed by Kenosha, Wisconsin at 7 on Monday. Grand Rapids finishing it out in Michigan at 10:30. So that's 14 rallies in 3 days. We can really only do that because you are sending us the donations. You are giving us the funds to get to these rallies. It takes about $5,000 to $6,000, $7,000 to send a team to each rally, and that adds up. And because of your support, we're able to get you to these rallies, show you everything. And I'm going to read off some of the donations from Super Chat. We'll have our cameraman pan the crowd here, maybe do some zooms in on some people. So I'm going to step off to the side because the crowd is more interesting than me squinting at my phone and reading off the donations. It is Halloween. I can tell you that the prevalent costume tonight, it may not seem like people are in costume, but they're dressed up as patriots. Of course we know this. So as he's panning, you can see roughly how many people are here. The crowd, I think thinner than the last time I was here, but again, it is a cold, chilly night, and okay, a cold, chilly night, but people are still, like as I said, trickling in. So let's start reading off some of these Super Chat donations. Phil Wenger, where's Hunter? Did you read my hat, Phil? Excellent. Thanks, RSB, for standing alongside the people's president, Donald J. Trump. Bill Alexander has joined the Lincoln Club. Thank you very much, Bill. Fast Cheetah 702 has made a donation to us. Thank you very much. Great work, RSBN. Keep it up. I'm looking for a solution here that's going to work. I'm having trouble seeing these all, but hang on just a moment. All right, so I'm going to come back to those in a minute because I wasn't able to read them. Very chilly here, and I apologize for that, but we will be showing some more of them. And I think I can get back to them here.
It's one of the great American success stories. A builder who left his mark on skylines
all right.
around the world.
Melissa Patrice, $49.99. California for Trump. Please vote red. Thank you very much for that donation.
Tired of politicians leading our country down a road.
Maggie M, $19.99.
Or power.
Here's a great from Lori, one of our favorite numbers, 2020. Thank you, Joe Seals, family and crew.
Will make America great again.
Maga Royale, can't read the numbers, $4.99. Donald J. Trump has done a lot more than Joe Biden in 47 years. Fact check. Absolutely. Icto Spicy with a $10 donation. Another $10 donation from Little Stevie 4172. Facebook has just banned New Jersey women for Trump. Get the word out. MAGA Trump 2020. John Reeves 49.99. God bless Trump. Great wall suit. Well, thank you very much, John. Thank you very much for that donation. Mike KMB 2020 in I believe euros. God bless President Trump, and lots of thanks to RSBN for your great work. From Mike. Nathan Eberly 1999. I appreciate you, RSBN. Keep up the great work. Got 3 thumbs up on that. D Boone 4.99. God bless all you patriots. We stand together. We stand as one. Now we get a $5 donation from Matt Nelson. You all are awesome. Keep up the great work. $5 donation from Mason Al-Samawi. Thanks, President Trump, for bringing peace to the Middle East. And that's true. President Trump, he is the president of peace right now. Unlike Barack Obama, who got the Nobel Peace Prize before he basically ever even stepped in the office, President Trump has so far been nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes. The first one being between Israel and the UAE. The second one between Kosovo and Serbia. And the third for what's really called the Trump Doctrine. What that is going to be is basically the American policy of not going to war, not getting involved in the affairs of foreign countries on a hair trigger, not wasting our resources and entering the conflicts of other nations. And in fact, President Trump is the first president in the last 39 years to not start a war or to enter a war that had already been in existence. So he has definitely been keeping our nation at peace. So let me try and read out some of the donations that are coming in via our website. When you go to RSB Network, rsbnetwork.com/donate, then those you can leave a message there, and I'm going to read off some of those right now. From D'Amico, D'Amico. Love RSBN. Thank you for all you do. Voting for the best president in my lifetime, Trump 2020. Red Wave. From Rich and Sharon Martin. We love Trump. That's a great sentiment. Do you need to get through? Did you need to get through? Okay. I just wonder if you need to pass by me. I thought I might be blocking you. No, I was just wondering if I was blocking. All right, so as you can see, things are very congested. I sense some people coming over. I was just asking if they were trying to get through. Actually, for most of the time here, the media crews have been leaving the stands. There's a couple hardy people here from Pittsburgh, local media who are up here, but most everybody else went to the heated tent and was trying to take some refuge. But we stayed out here so we could be here to show you the crowd when we came back, when the president left Pittsburgh. So for Marguerite Franceschi, best POTUS ever. Thank you for your awesome coverage. From Vince, God bless President Trump and God bless Right Side Broadcasting. Keep up the great work. 4 more years. Well, we absolutely hope so, Vince. Thank you for your help. And from Carol Goyette, just a simple thank you. So those are some of the donations. We'll get back. We'll read some others later. Let's talk about one of the core things we need to talk about if we're going to discuss Joe Biden's candidacy in Pennsylvania, and that's fracking. Joe Biden has flip-flopped on fracking. He has lied about it. He's lied about his initial position, famously been called out on it. Definitely, fracking is an important part of the American energy scene right now, and fracking is something that has allowed America to become energy independent because of the amount of oil that we can now get and energy we can get via fracking. We're no longer dependent upon foreign oil being shipped into the United States, and because of that,
need you to let these people go by.
Ma'am, I did ask them if they wanted to get by, and they said no, so I will let them by. Everyone may come on by now. So I'm moving out of the way to let some people by. And I'm going to take a 3-minute break here. Maybe we'll get things situated. We got some people on the riser. It looks like it's a little crowded. We don't know where they came from. We're going to let them all pass and take a 3-minute break.
Hello, Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, and I've got some great news for you. Today, you can save up to 66% off all my products, from my MyPillows to my Giza Dream Sheets, my towels, my Roll and Go travel pillows, my mattress topper. I have over 100 products that you're going to save up to 66% using the promo code RSBN, Right Side Broadcast Network. RSBN, use that promo code at mypillow.com or call 800-836-7566. That's 800-836-7566. Remember to use the code RSBN, and here's the great news. Half the money is going to support Right Side Broadcast Network, one of the best networks I've ever seen. Thank you.
Before we took that break, I was talking about fracking. I think I'll actually start over on that topic as I try not to trip and fall to my early demise here. Fracking is very important for American energy situation because as a whole, using fracking technology has allowed America to become energy independent. That's extremely important because energy independence for America means that we don't have to be overseas fighting wars, defending and making sure oil can flow freely from other countries into our shores. We're no longer dependent upon foreign oil. And that means we don't have to go to war for it. And indeed, this is one thing President Trump has been able to do. When we had a conflict brewing, when we had a drone shot down in the Middle East, it didn't result in a war because we are now energy independent. Joe Biden, he wants to end fracking. And besides the implications for peace and the ability for us to stay energy independent, to not have to enter these wars, there's also the job loss that will happen from that. And it'll be horrendous. To give up those jobs, to give those up basically on a pipe dream of the Green New Deal, is something that's been spoon-fed to Joe Biden. And that's probably a pretty good analogy, spoon-fed to Joe Biden, maybe with his applesauce each morning. Because the socialist left is really the one dictating the policies that Joe Biden is coming up with. He's not doing his own policies. Joe Biden he's a Trojan horse. He's a stalking horse. Yes, he's a Democrat candidate, but he's not the one calling the shots in the Democrat Party. He's being run by not just the left wing of the Democrat Party. You can't even call them Democrat socialists. You have to call them what they are. They're actually borderline communists. When they're talking about the things that they want to do, the changes that they want to make to the American political scene, absolutely unthinkable while keeping our liberties the way that we know them. Some of the things that the leftists would do is they would pack the court. We know that they're not exactly happy with what transpired with the way that we filled the vacancy with Amy Coney Barrett, a strong voice, an originalist, a textualist who will interpret the Constitution as law, as it is written, not someone who will be legislating from the bench and making her own law based upon new ideas of the Constitution. The leftists also want to get statehood for D.C. and Puerto Rico. And they want to do that so they can get 2 new senators out of each. And that will enable them to get even increase their hold on the Senate, something which has eluded them lately. And they're looking at amnesty for illegals. That would include such things as additional financial outlays that would be coming out of the taxpayers' pockets for free health care, free college, basically free everything for anybody who can walk across the border, because they want to make the borders open. They want to have open borders so that anybody who can come to America is welcome to all of these things. They want to repeal the tax cuts. Joe Biden famously said that he would not cut taxes. He said that famously said that he wouldn't raise taxes on the people who are making less than $400,000, which is obviously not going to work if he says he's going to repeal the tax cuts. So, in addition to that, they want to defund the police. Something that they're looking at is defunding the police. We know that's not something that most Americans are in favor of, and something that we really can't have. Because Joe Biden is about surrender. They have surrendered the streets to mobs, and because of that, we need police now more than ever. So I'm going to walk off camera here for just a second. I'm going to tell you again about our sponsor at MyPillow. Times have been rough for everyone, and that's why we're even more excited to announce our newest partner. You may have guessed it from our hints on social media. You may have seen it from our rally in Rochester. But we can proudly say that we here at RSBN are officially partnering with the one and only Mike Lindell, CEO of MyPillow and one of our favorite patriots. We know that getting a restful night's sleep is crucial to waking up on the right side of the bed. And to make sure your sleep is as luxurious as possible with any of MyPillow's products. Now, they've got over 100 products to choose from, including some you may not have known about, ranging from travel pillows to dog beds, memory foam mattress toppers, Giza Dream Sheets, and more. Check out their entire inventory online at www.mypillow.com, and you can use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your entire order. Now again, that's code RSBN at www.mypillow.com. So as we're panning the crowd, this is a great time to remind you that RSBN shows you the crowds. We're the ones that are going to show you the rally from start to finish. We're going to show you everyone who's in attendance. They are still coming in, still trickling in here. We know there's, besides Halloween, it is a cold night, it's a chilly night, there's a very large Big Ten football game happening, but the crowd is still filtering in. Now, if you'd like to help us bring these transmissions to you, if you'd like to help us keep these streams coming, the way you can make a donation is by going to rsbnetwork.com/donate. By doing that, you get the donation to us, and that's the one where we get the most of it. Very little is taken off of the processing fee. The other way you can do it is to go onto YouTube. If you're in the YouTube chat right now and you've got a super chat icon, you can like, share, and subscribe there and use the bell. That way you'll know when our streams are coming on, and we always look forward to those donations. And again, I'll try and read some more of those out. And the last one you can do is to mail us a donation. RSBN 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. Again, that's 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. We are the little guys in this game. We're the underdogs, and we can only do this with your help. Your donations are what make this possible. And I can tell you, it's a little chill there, a little chill. Joe Biden is trying to catch up on the rally game lately. He's come out of his basement. He's doing a little bit. He's really after the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes are at stake. And Joe's trying to be a little bit more active. Not as much as the president. Again, the president has 4 rallies today, 5 tomorrow, 5 on Monday. But an interesting thing happened yesterday at one of Joe Biden's press conference. Joe Biden, he unleashed his secret weapon. And I'm not sure what the Trump campaign's response is to it, because frankly, I think it's a very scary. Joe Biden he's on the right track when he says he can lead an effective strategy to mobilize. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's like, I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize. I think it's something like that. I mean, that would make a great password for a Wi-Fi or something like that. That was Joe Biden yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the clip. If you check it out, he was maybe a little bit more intelligible to me. I'm not sure. Joe Biden talking to microphone. You never know what you're going to get. And yesterday we got. So let's talk about what's at stake here in this election. The president has told us famously that if Joe Biden wins, China wins. Let me repeat that. If Joe Biden wins, China wins. And if President Trump wins, the United States wins. So this isn't necessarily about the Democrat or the Republican Party. Maybe 20 years ago, there was an election where the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans was not so stark, where it didn't have such a huge impact on America. But that's not where we're at. That's not where we're at today. That's not where we'll be at on the 3rd. If the Democrats win, they will veer the course of this country sharply to the left, to the point where it almost won't be recognizable. Joe's campaign has one constant, and that's surrender. Joe will surrender our jobs to China. He will ship them back overseas. The progress that we've made so far in bringing manufacturing jobs back to the United States, with the new trade deals that we have, with the renegotiation of NAFTA, that will all be undone. Joe will also surrender our streets to the mobs. We've seen this several places, most recently in Philadelphia, where failure to respond to something that you know is going to cause unrest, and actually just not sending in enough police, not giving police the ability or the authority to respond when mob violence occurs, that is something that will continue to happen under the Biden administration. And he's going to surrender leadership of the Democrat Party to the leftist wing of it. And that's something that we know has happened already. He's already colluded with Bernie. I mean, forget collusion with Russia. We're colluding with Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden, the unity agreement that he had with Bernie, where he incorporated so many of Bernie's far left planks, so many of those things, including the Green New Deal, which at one point Joe Biden didn't think he supported, but apparently on his website he did. Again, he doesn't really know what he supports. So this is what's at stake. And what we need to do, obviously, we need to get out and vote. We need to get out there and vote. And if you've already voted, then that's excellent. But what your job should be now is to make sure that you can get as many people to the polls on election day as you can. If you're in a state that still allows early voting, some states that's curtailed now. I'm not going to go through a whole list of where that is. But if you can still vote early in your state and in person, by all means, I urge you to do that. There's all sorts of suppression coming out right now. We've got voter suppression. We've got suppression via letters saying that you may have been exposed to the virus, the Chinese virus, so you need to quarantine for 14 days. So don't go out in public and don't vote. Someone just showed me a website that said that Cuomo in New York is instituting mandatory COVID testing for travelers into New York City, which is another form of suppression, making people think that COVID is rampant, so they will not go out and vote. And you need to look beyond those polls. You need to forget about those polls. You need to concentrate on what you can control, and that's your vote. Get out and cast your vote. And when your vote is cast, help others to cast theirs. Drive people to the polls. You can still volunteer, join a phone bank, and call up registered voters and remind them to go vote as well. Find a way in your community to go out there and help others cast their vote. And be visible too. We are the silent majority, but we don't have to be the invisible majority. Wear your Trump gear. If you've got a Trump hat, boy, from now till the 3rd is the day to wear it. Now, of course, you can't wear it when you go to the polls. We know that. But you can wear it everywhere else, where you go shopping, where you go about your normal daily routine. Let people know that there are Trump supporters that go to the same churches, that send their children to the same schools, that shop at the same stores. Trump supporters are in their community. They're not mythical people that are just kind of like out there and like sometimes you see them or you read about them. Trump supporters are all across America, and we know that. We've seen it. That support has been unbelievable. We've had boat parades. We've had truck parades. We've had people driving on the interstate. We've had so many spontaneous, organic displays of support for the president. I've never seen anything like it. I doubt we'll see anything like it again. But what we need to do is take that level of support, take that level of enthusiasm, and frankly, that level of love for our president. And we need to translate that into action. We need to get out and make sure votes are cast. We need to make sure that as many people that we can get to the polls that we can get to the polls, that we get them there, that they have the opportunity to cast their vote for President Trump. And really, when you look at this crowd, and you look at the crowds at the last couple of rallies, with the exception of the one, well, actually, not even with the exception, I was going to say with the exception of the one in Rochester, because we only had 250 people at Rochester last night because of the Governor Walz of Minnesota declared that the people basically didn't have the right to free and peaceful assembly. But these crowds continue to come out for President Trump. And it started in North Carolina. I've been to many rallies, and I've always heard, like, someone in the audience will yell out, "We love you, President Trump. We love you. I love you." Somebody would always yell that out at random. But about a month, maybe 2 months ago, President Trump was doing a rally in North Carolina, and there was an organized chant, "We love Trump." And that's crystallized from there. I mean, that is something that I have heard at every rally since. And it's because President Trump is really galvanizing. He's really given us permission. He's galvanizing support for Americans to be patriotic again. For so long, we were told to be ashamed of our country, that there was something wrong with America, that things that America had done in the past were so bad that America today was basically untenable, that we need to rework it. We need to dismantle the entire country and start over, and that's just a flat-out lie. It's just an incredible lie. Americans are proud of their country. Americans have always been proud, and we've always had patriotism. And certainly we've always been able to express it to the military. We've always appreciated the military's efforts and been very patriotic towards them. But just a normal citizen displaying patriotism for his country, maybe 6 years ago, that wasn't so common. And today it is, because President Trump has given us the opportunity. He's really shown us that we can be patriotic, that we can support our country, that America can come first in our political lives, that the purpose of American politics isn't to enrich the entire world through global tariffs and wealth transfers such as the Trans-Pacific Partnership or the Paris Climate Accords. The purpose of American government under President Trump is to have and place America first. And that's exactly why I came to support him. I guess for now, this is probably a good time for me to talk to you about how I came to support the president. In 2016, I wasn't even registered. I wasn't a voter. I hadn't voted since 1984 for Ronald Reagan in his second term. I didn't want Hillary to win. We can definitely say that. But living in California as a conservative, I knew that my vote wouldn't count for much back then. Today, however, a conservative vote in California counts for a lot because we've got to close that gap out there and maybe even turn the state purple, win back some of those congressional districts that we lost in 2018. But, I was watching President Trump from afar, was very happy when he won. And when his third day in office, when he canceled the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was really going to gut our automotive industry, I started paying attention. And the fourth day, the very next day, he got rid of the Paris Climate Accord. Boy, then I was really paying attention. And as he went on, he did so many things to put our country first. He cut taxes to businesses. He cut legislation that was red tape. He cut so much red tape and freed the American economy to expand. Where President Obama was saying that maybe 1.5% GDP growth was going to be the norm, President Trump didn't listen to that, and we were experiencing quarterly growth of 3%, sometimes 4%. Unemployment across the board was at its lowest levels in every metric. It doesn't matter. Minority unemployment, lowest levels. Women unemployment, lowest levels. The economy was growing great until we got, of course, the unwanted president from China. And now that we've weathered that, now that we're rounding the corner on that, now that we're in our super V recovery, now that in the last quarter, GDP increased 33.1%, the economy is coming back, President Trump is the perfect president to bring our economy back all the way to where it was before and then beyond, to make America great again, and then to keep it great. I'm going to turn around now, see what I can see, give you some observations from what I can see from the crowd. We do not have the seal on the podium yet, so the president is not imminently close. We know he's en route from Pittsburgh. We believe he'll be flying in the 757 Air Force One. The crowd is basically just huddled together, trying to stay warm. A lot of energy here. It's definitely a Trump rally, the first of our nightcap rallies for this election season, and the first of three because tomorrow we've got one at Opelika, Florida, which is going to be at about 11 p.m. And I know we're closing out Grand Rapids, Michigan on election on the 2nd. We'll be closing out Grand Rapids at also around 10:30. So I'm going to take about a 3-minute break here, and I'll come back. When I do come back, we're going to read off some of your donations from the Super Chat, and I will see you in about 3 minutes.
Hello, Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, and I've got some great news for you. Today, you can save up to 66% off all my products, from my MyPillows to my Giza Dream Sheets, my towels, my Roll and Go travel pillows, my mattress topper. I have over 100 products that you're going to save up to 66% using the promo code RSBN, Right Side Broadcast Network. RSBN, use that promo code at mypillow.com or call 800-836-7566. That's 800-836-7566. Remember to use the code RSBN, and here's the great news. Half the money is going to support Right Side Broadcast Network, one of the best networks I've ever seen. Thank you.
Jumbotron. A little foreshadowing here. We know that President Trump has been using the Jumbotron as a tool to convey video messages to people. I expect that we're going to have some choice shots, some choice messages, a little video, maybe a meme or two. Has gotten a little bit into kind of the meme style, and I kind of like it, actually, having come from that background myself. So before we get back to just to Super Chat messages, I do want to remind you once more about our partner today, our new partner, and that's MyPillow. Times have been tough for everyone, and that's why we're even more excited to announce our newest partner. You've seen it on our social media, you may have seen some of our videos, and you may have seen it in Rochester last night. But our new pillow, we have now partnered with MyPillow.com and Mike Lindell, one of our favorite patriots and the CEO of MyPillow. We know that getting a restful night's sleep is crucial to waking up on the right side of the bed. So make sure your sleep is as luxurious as possible with any of the MyPillow products. They've got over 100 products to choose from. Those range from travel pillows to dog beds, memory foam mattress toppers, their new Giza Dream Sheets, and more. And so check out their entire inventory at www.mypillow.com. Now, importantly, you can also, the great thing, you can use a RSBN as a code, as a checkout code for up to 66%. That's RSBN at checkout for 66% off your entire order. And again, that's code RSBN at www.mypillow.com. Now, we see a plane approaching, and of course there should be only one plane approaching, and that is Air Force One. With the president arriving shortly, we're going to try and pan and show you that from the angle we have on the camera. It's going to be interrupted by some of the other people on the podium, but we'll give you as much as we can. It appears to have just touched down, and being 8:26 is certainly possibly it. I can't imagine any other plane that would be landing right now. We don't have any lights on it, so we don't have any confirmation. But judging by the crowd noise, this might be, still can't tell based upon very, very low light on the plane. So the crowd is waiting to see if this is Air Force One. I'm looking at the tail. The lights seem a little different from the way I was expecting them to be. And it is not. It does not appear to be Air Force One. It is, in fact, some other jet that has landed. It does have a T-tail. It's a smaller regional jet. So, false alarm there. Unless he's flying in this smaller plane as Air Force One. I mean, that's certainly possible.
Air Force One is too big for this airport.
Air Force One is, of course, just a call sign. Any plane that carries the president is Air Force One. When I was here last summer, he did arrive on the 757. So that Air Force One, the smaller one, can certainly land at this airport. The 747, I believe, would have a difficult time, but the smaller 757 absolutely can. But this appears not to be Air Force One, based upon how it's maneuvering right now, based upon just how it looks. It looks like it's a regional jet. Perhaps it was maybe the press corps is coming on that. Maybe there's additional press coverage and they're shuttling them in with a different plane ahead of the president. So let's go ahead and look at some of these Super Chat donations. Have to maneuver my hand around here so I can. This is one of those times where it'd be great to be an octopus. All right, we have a $20 donation from a very difficult name to read. Townscape Design 1, thanks for broadcasting, showing crowds truth you can't find on the MSM. $10 donation from Alfred Selho, God bless you and yours, President Trump. Thank you, RSBN. $5 donation from Cheryl L. Right Side Broadcasting. Shout out from California. MAGA Red, Red Wave. $10 donation. No message. A $10 donation from Vince Vaughn. Caribbean immigrants, Trinidad and Tobago for Trump. Walk away, Trump 2020. Here's a donation, $45.45. Without RSBN, we wouldn't be able to watch all the rallies. And I wish I could read the chat that's going through. It's extremely fast. Really, I tried to read a few of them, but I was not able to. So I'm going to continue on with the super chat donations that I can see. $20 from Sharon Mele from San Diego, California. Dave and Sharon, we love you. We love you, Trump. Our superstar. San Diego, shout out for my hometown. Shout out for Chismaga's hometown. We're going to be back there shortly. And we are looking forward to a recap. I mean, San Diego, for those of you who don't know, while it is in California, it has not descended into the liberal hellhole that is San Francisco, where people are basically free to defecate and urinate on the streets without any repercussions from the law, because it's basically legal for them to do it. Not as bad as Hollywood either. So shout out to San Diego. All right, we have a $49.99 donation from Matt Jennings. Keep it up, RSBN. No more fake news. A $50 donation from Aaron Berkey. RSBN the best. Props to you two. Okay, and why don't I switch over? Let's read out some more of those donations that are coming in off the website. While I'm pulling that up, I'll just remind you that the best way for you to make a donation to us, besides just giving us cash at the event, which happily happened from that gentleman from Mount Carmel, is to make a donation at rsbnetwork.com/donate. That's rsbnetwork.com/donate. Now, when you make your donation there, the bulk of all the funds come to us, minus a very small processing fee. The super chat donations you can make on YouTube with the dollar icon, they take about 30% away from those, but we still enjoy them. It still gives you a chance to get your message across to everybody else who's watching the chat, because your message will float up there at the top. People will be able to see what you type in there. If you're a Lincoln Club member, you'll be able to use some icons that you select. And it's a neat way. It's a fun way to show your support for us and also convey a message to other people watching chat. Last way you can do it is to send us a letter. Address it to RSBN 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama. And the zip there is 36830. That's RSBN at 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Now I'm going to read out some of those emails, some of the email donations that we got at rsbnetwork.com/donate. From Travis, thank you all very much for what you do and for being great patriots. God bless. Thank you very much, Travis. From Randy Daniels, thank you for the unfiltered and dependable coverage of the Trump rallies. God bless President Trump and his family. God bless the RSBN staff for their support. God bless Rush Limbaugh, and God bless the USA. May the U.S. stay strong and free. A lot of strong messages there, Randy. Thank you very much. From Seth, great job covering the rallies. From Michael Harvey, I hope this donation will help you become one of the most watched channels on YouTube. And we hope so too, Mike, and it really does. I mean, I left out the schedule. I'll go through it briefly. This is the fourth rally President Trump has today. Starting tomorrow on the 1st, he's got Macomb County in Michigan, Dubuque, Iowa, Hickory, North Carolina, Rome, Georgia, and Opelika, Florida, scheduled to start at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. That could bleed over into the 2nd. So it could technically be another rally on the 2nd, where there are 5 scheduled to start even on the 2nd. So that's Fayetteville, North Carolina, Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'll be at that one. Now, of course, that's Joe Biden, so he likes to call his hometown, but it's basically another lie that Joe Biden tells to make it seem like he's just like one of us, when in fact he's just someone who's been living off the fat of the American people for 47 years. And apparently, even in recent times, it looks like he's been getting some support from China as well. Basically, it's looking like there may have been some devious dealings going on with his son Hunter. So following Scranton, there's Traverse City, Michigan, Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Grand Rapids, Michigan is gonna finish it off. So we'll go back to some of these donations from the Right Side Broadcast, from the RSB Network website. From Stephen Brand. Love the way Right Side Broadcast shows the crowd. Love it and happy to support Trump 2020. From Hung Bing Zhu. I'm a Chinese citizen, although I do not have the right to vote, but I have the right to donate because I oppose the CCP's centralization of power. That's the Chinese Communist Party. I love Trump. I hope Trump will be reelected and the United States will be great again. God bless Trump and the United States. Support Trump. So here's a donation we've got from someone overseas, someone who's experiencing communism, someone who's experiencing the grip of the Chinese Communist Party and how totalitarian it is, how many freedoms it takes away. People look at the United States and they know that we are the last hope for freedom in the world. If freedom dies here, it won't reappear somewhere else. If America is taken over by the leftists the way that they want to do it, if they're able to curtail the Second Amendment, if they're able to curtail the right to peaceful assembly at their own whims whenever they want, we will not have the America of freedoms that our ancestors fought and died for. We'll only have the crumbs that are left that the liberal elite decide to let us have to placate us. They'll bring in people from other countries. They'll open the borders. They'll say anybody is welcome to come to our country, and of course, they'll make everybody dependent upon government aid, and that will be the last of our republic. So here's a message from somebody in China, a Chinese citizen who understands that. From Leslie G. Chappelle, Trump rocks. I can't imagine a better leader, nor can I. I would have to agree. From Chris Robertson, God bless our president. Let us, as Americans, stand beside each other in defense of our certain and inalienable rights given to us by our Creator. In Jesus' name, amen. And that is the core, right there. That is the core of American rights. They are not granted to us by our government. They are not given to us by the government. They are our inalienable rights endowed to us by our Creator. We have them in absence of permission from the government. And in some cases now, the leftists seem to be wanting to take that away, especially with the First Amendment, the right for peaceful assembly. We've seen that curtailed as recently as last night. From Jules, pray for our country like never before and get ready for the incoming red wave. Nothing can stop what's coming. I really hope you are right. I would love to see a red wave in California, but I can say this. We've got to get out there and vote. We can't just be sitting back and say we've had great boat parades and we've had great truck rallies and we've had so much visible support. We need to translate that support into votes for President Trump. And we're going to have to do that. We have to make sure we get as many people as we can to the polls. We need to get every vote to count. And even if you're in a state that we know has a very slim chance of turning red, let's pick San Diego. Let's pick California for an example. Are we going to be able to make California have a Republican outcome? Probably not. But we need to close the gap. We can't let them use that excuse of the popular vote against us. We can't let the leftists say, we can't let the Democrat Party say, but we won the popular vote. We all know from 2016 that electoral votes are what counts. And there are 20 of them here in Pennsylvania that President Trump definitely needs, would seal the deal for President Trump, and Joe Biden wants to take away from the president. So electoral votes are what count, but we want to get as much of the popular vote as we can to not give the Democrats a leg to stand on. Because last time, one of the things they did when they contested the results of the election for a 3-year period was by citing the results of the popular election and saying that Hillary actually won because she had more votes, which is, as we know, not true. So let's go back to some of these emails. David and Mary in Arizona, thank you for keeping it real and showing how many Americans are behind Trump. It's refreshing to hear someone telling the truth. We appreciate the work you do. Stay strong, God bless you, and God bless America. I can see a cameraman right now, he is panning the crowd. We're trying to show you some of the people here. Well, still chilly. We have not had the advanced squad come in yet. Nobody has come out to test the levels of the teleprompters. The seal is still not affixed. All the primary speakers here have gone on already though. So really, we are just now awaiting the president's arrival. From Krista Dube, best president ever, Donald J. Trump. From Diane Antonovich, keep up the good work. From Morali, I've been watching RSBN for the last 4 years, ever since network TV stopped broadcasting rallies in full. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Keep up your good work. We love you all. From Maria G. Perez, a donation without a message. Thank you very much, Maria. From Alexis Lavea, thank you for showing all the rallies and crowd sizes at each rally. Can't wait to re-elect President Trump on Tuesday, November 3rd. MAGA, Trump Pence 2020, Trump landslide victory. Well, in certain states we're going to have a landslide. In certain states it's going to be close. What we need to do is get everybody out to vote. So I'm going to take a quick break here, and I'll be right back.
Hello, Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, and I've got some great news for you. Today, you can save up to 66% off all my products, from my MyPillows to my Giza Dream Sheets, my towels, my Roll and Go travel pillows, my mattress topper. I have over 100 products that you're going to save up to 66% using the promo code RSBN, Right Side Broadcast Network. RSBN, use that promo code at mypillow.com or call 800-836-7566. That's 800-836-7566. Remember to use the code RSBN, and here's the great news. Half the money is going to support Right Side Broadcast Network, one of the best networks I've ever seen. Thank you.
So we do have another plane approaching right now. You just saw that video. I couldn't hear the video, so I'm going to go over our partner so you can get all the details we've got in that message. Times have been rough for everyone, and that's why we're even more excited to announce our newest partner, as you just saw. It's Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow. And we're proud to say here at RSBN that we've officially partnered with them, and he's one of our favorite patriots. So we're glad he's on board with us. We know that getting a restful night's sleep is crucial to waking up on the right side of the bed. Make sure your sleep is luxurious and possible with any of the MyPillow products. And this is a very loud jet that's landing. We believe that this is Air Force One. I can see by the tail fin it is. The president has landed in Montoursville. Now, we do want you to take a look at the website for mypillow.com. They've got over 100 products to choose from. They range from travel pillows to dog beds, memory foam mattress toppers, Giza Dream Suites, that's that fine Egyptian cotton, and more. So check out their inventory at www.mypillow.com and use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your order, off your entire order. Again, that's code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your entire order. So Air Force One has landed. It's gone down to the far end of the runway now. I can see by the where they've got the trying to place where the president is actually going to deplane. It looks like Air Force One is going to taxi back this direction, and they do have some police vehicles, some troopers there. I'm trying to remember back in last summer when he deplaned where he was at, but I think what happened was the rally was closer to the hangar, and he was actually able to be somewhat closer to the crowd and was able to deplane directly. I know that I did see some ramps here earlier. It's possible that, and it is there, I do now see the top of the ramp. So the top of the ramp from my vantage point is behind the right side bleachers. I'm not sure if that means we're going to be able to see him coming out. Certainly that ramp may be moving forward, but Air Force One will be coming down and coming onto a taxiway. It will reverse because the president, as you're looking towards the front of the jet, will always be exiting off the left side of the plane. Typically, with this version of Air Force One, they'll put a ramp at the back of the plane, which is where the press corps will debark from. They'll take their positions, and then eventually the president will be coming down the steps at the nose of the plane. The SEAL is now on the podium, so we are getting closer. You can feel. I mean, I'm looking at the crowd. All their cell phones are up. It is tough in this weather. I don't know the temperature, but I'm sure it's below 40. We're probably somewhere around 38 degrees was the predicted temperature at this time of night. But everybody wants to capture this moment. They want to remember it because this is their fight. This is all of our fight. This is what matters in this election. It's such a, oh man, I'm starting to get the goosebumps. I know it's cold. That's not what they're from. It is not from the weather. I'm warm enough. I'm getting the goosebumps because the president is here. And this is the fight we're in right now. We've got to win it. We've got to reelect him. It's so important. And I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a moment. This is what people are going to remember about this election. Moments like this where you came out in a frigid night when you could be doing something else, when you could be at home and enjoying a hot chocolate, when you could be watching TV, when you could have gone to a football game, but you came out to see your president. You came out to hear his message. You came out to hear the plans he has for America. You came out to show your support. These are the times you'll remember from this election. There's only a few rallies left. If you can make it to one of them, I highly recommend it. But if you can't, you're in the right place to catch it, because we're going to try and bring them all to you here at RSBN. We're going to try and bring you every single one that we can. So my view of the plane is a little bit obscured, but I believe that the door at the tail has opened, and the first of the mobile stair steps is going there. The ramp to let the press corps get off of the plane and get into position. And again, shortly after that, I would say we're maybe maybe 5 or 10 minutes away from the president taking the stand there, from the president walking up to the podium and addressing this crowd that's been waiting so patiently. It appears that we also have a motorcade approaching, so it may be the case that the president will, it is looking like he'll be taking a motorcade from the plane to directly behind the podium. So I would say that instead of, it looks like he'll be taking the motorcade, and that they will be entering the podium right between the gap of the center stage and the right-hand bleachers. So we'll get a good shot of that. We may not get him coming off the plane, but we will certainly get him walking up the steps onto the stage. Very exciting moment. The crowd here, if for many of them it may be in Montoursville, it could be the second time they've seen this. But I believe the last time he was able to actually walk up to the podium. I don't think that they had the motorcade last time, so this is kind of new. So while this is happening, let me see if I can get to some super chats, because this is not something that is going to be happening immediately. We may have some time to actually look at some more of those messages. From Nancy G, $49.99. Keon Comedy has really great videos showing the difference between Trump and Biden, and showing the media lies about mocking the disabled, saying the military are losers, very fine people, etc. And that's true. Joe Biden has trafficked in lies during his candidacy. He has definitely parroted some of those, and the one about the fine people conspiracy, the very fine people, that one has been debunked so many times, and yet Joe Biden says that's why he ran. 4K Telora Sumo, the Lord God Almighty bless America. $5 Australian from Dingo Dial. Thank you very much for that donation. $5 from Venka Smith. Thank you, RSBN. Counting on you, Pennsylvania. Vote red. California needs you. And this is true. I mean, for the state of Pennsylvania, the nation does need you. It's time for you to come for the defense of liberty again. Certainly in 1776, this is where the Declaration of Independence was drafted, one of the original colonies, and Pennsylvanians are being called upon again to defend that democracy. Then we have a new Lincoln Club member, Nama Q217. Well, actually a Trump Club member. Thank you very much. David Ponks, $4.99. Cool Bag loves Trump. $5 from Lou Gray. Thank you, RSBN. Hit that like button. Trump Pence 2020. That's a great reminder. If you're watching the stream, hit the like button. That helps it rise up in the algorithms. Remember to subscribe so you can catch all the rallies coming up in the next few days. And hit the bell notification so those come to you as well. $9.99 from Hope. Christians for Trump. Roma's Fave, $4.99. Well, thank you very much. She says you're doing a great job, Wallman. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. $4.99. Another $4.99 donation. I'm trying to scroll through these here. And difficult in the cold with my glove, but we're trying to get to them. A Canadian donation of $5 from Blake Raymer. Joe Biden is not fit for the presidency. The man can't remember where his rallies are, and how can he run a country? And I think that the answer to that, of course, is Joe Biden yesterday famously telling us that he knows, in his own words, Joe Biden says, "I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize," or something like that. So as I'm going to take a look around the crowd, see if I can spot give you an idea of the activity that I'm seeing. We've got a couple people, it looks like photographers with the campaign that are looking at the ramp coming up the stage. They're taking their time loading up all the vehicles because the press as well has to be shuttled here. So I think that they're probably loading up the press first. They wouldn't put the president in one of the beast limos and then have him sit there while the press is being loaded up. So there's a long train of vehicles. I'd say there are about 10 vehicles. A couple shuttle buses, the black shuttle buses, that's where I expect the press will be. And shortly the president will be coming off of the ramp. I don't know if we can get a shot of the plane. Can we get a shot of the front ramp? Let's do that because I think we're close. It's hard to tell. This rally is a little bit different in that he's going to be debarking straight to the motorcade. We have a limited visibility of this shot. As you can see, there's some structures in the way. It looks like we've got one of the light towers, but we'll keep it here. We'll keep it on the door. Keep it on the door because that's where it'll start. So now it looks like the press corps, having been loaded into their vehicles, the back part of this motorcade is now coming towards the stage. So I believe that they will shortly come out of their shuttle buses. They'll be ready to from there they'll take up their positions, and then the president will debark, get into the limo, make the short drive to the podium, and begin his address. So while we're waiting for that, let me tell you one more time about our new sponsor, MyPillow. Times have been rough for everyone, and that's why we are even more excited to announce our newest partner. You may have guessed it from our social media. You may have just seen it on the video we played a while ago, but we can proudly say here at RSBN that we are officially partnering with the one and only Mike Lindell, CEO of MyPillow. He's one of our favorite patriots, and we're glad to have him on board with us. We know that getting a restful night's sleep is crucial to waking up on the right side of the bed. And that's a little pun there, in case you didn't know. So to make sure your sleep is as luxurious as possible with any of MyPillow's products, all you have to do is check out more than 100 of the products that they have on their website. They've got items ranging from travel pillows to dog beds, memory foam mattress toppers, and those new Giza Dream Sheets with that great Egyptian cotton. And they've got even more than that. So check out their entire inventory online at www.mypillow.com. And you can use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your entire order. Again, that's code RSBN at checkout for 66% off your entire order. So I want to remind you again that RSBN, we may have a big presence. We may have a really the most number of people watching our streams, watching the streamed rallies on YouTube, but we are a small company. And it looks like the president has come down. He is now coming down the steps. They haven't made an official announcement, but there are a series of people debarking, and I assume he is one of them. So the way you can help us, we are a small company. It's a David Goliath situation. We're trying to do the near impossible. We're trying to get to all of these rallies, bring them to you in your entirety. The best way you can support us is at rsbnetwork.com/donate. When you make your donations there, the bulk of them come straight to us, minus a very small processing fee. But that's the easiest way you can do it. The super chat features, that's another way. By using the dollar icon, you can donate to us there. And of course, as soon as they announce the president, I'll be stopping and talk on the mic. It could be happening now. I'm not sure if they're going to wait until he's actually at the podium or when he debarks the plane. So when you are on the YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Those help us. Those help raise our streams so that more people can see them. It broadens our exposure, broadens the president's message, lets more people see it, and and that will enable more people to support us. So the entire motorcade now is now leaving. The president was surely on board. One of the two lead limousines, one of the two beasts at the front is certainly carrying the president. They're going down to the runway to the next taxiway where they can make their turn and then begin their approach here to the stage. They'll appear just to the right, I believe, of the stage. The president will get off there and will make a short trip up the stairs to the podium. And you can also make a donation to us at RSBN 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama. Zip code 36830. A quick reminder of the rallies we've got coming up tomorrow on Sunday. We've got Macomb County, Michigan starting at 11 a.m. Eastern. Dubuque, Iowa, 1 p.m. Central Time. Hickory, North Carolina, 5:30 Eastern. Rome, Georgia, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Opelika, Florida, the nightcap at 11 p.m. And Monday the 2nd, Fayetteville, North Carolina at 11:30. Scranton, Pennsylvania at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll be at that one. Traverse City, Michigan at 5 p.m. Eastern. Kenosha, Wisconsin at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Grand Rapids, Michigan, finishing it out at 10:30 Eastern. That's 14 rallies we are covering in 3 days, and we're only able to do it because of your support. So both of the limousines, the first limo is now behind the podium. The second limo has arrived, and I imagine that at any point in time, we'll now be hearing those words we've been wanting to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, that official announcement will be coming shortly. At that time, I'll be putting down the mic, and we'll be bringing you the President's remarks in their entirety.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the United States, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Wow, good crowd. This is a hell of a crowd. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well, I just want to say hello, Pennsylvania, and hello, Montoursville. How are you? We love this state. I've done a little traveling in this state today, you might have heard. But we save the best for last, right? It's a great place. I went to school here, went to college here, and it's a great place. 3 days from now, we are going to win the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we are going to win 4 more great years in the White House. And with your vote, we will continue to bring back your jobs, cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our great military, take care of our veterans, and nobody's done it better than we have. Work with our police officers, and ensure that more products are proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA, right? It's been a long time since you heard that kind of stuff. Next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country, on the assumption you don't quadruple your taxes, okay? It's the only guy I've ever seen. He whole campaign theme, we will raise your taxes. What the hell kind of a campaign? You know, my whole life I've seen people campaign. I've never heard that one before, but it's a little bit of a different kind of a campaign, wouldn't you say? Sleepy Joe Biden will shut down your economy, ship your jobs to China, raise you where he's very well taken care of. He's very well. You never hear it from them. It's a lot of media. You'll never hear it from the fake media. Raise your taxes, $4 trillion, destroy the suburbs, and we're saving the suburbs. I hope the people in the suburbs know that. I hope the people in the suburbs know that. I ended a regulation, if they reenact it, you won't have suburbs anymore. And send your state into a deep and crippling depression. Biden has vowed to abolish American oil and natural gas. You saw that. No fracking, no mining, no coal, no nothing. And gas prices for your beautiful large vans and cars and trucks. Some of you have trucks that you drive around in because you like that better. I think I'd be one of those. I think I'd be one of those people. But, you know, don't you like $2 gasoline? Isn't that nice? Well, it'll go to $6, $7, and then they'll say, you'll be telling your family, let's buy one of those little compacts that we used to buy, right? Biden's plan is an economic death sentence for Pennsylvania. He'll outlaw fracking, and what we're going to do, we're going to stop it. We're going to stop it. We have a little thing up there. Where is it? We're right there. That costs a lot of money to get. We get that for special. You're going to see a little bit about fracking. But all of that great stuff, your natural gas in Pennsylvania, and they'll obliterate and extinguish your economy. Sure as you can, as sure as you're standing and or sitting. Do you have chairs here? Yeah, you do. But everybody's standing. That's very nice. Today I signed an order, and this is semi-breaking news. I did say it at the last stop, but I won't tell you that. But today I signed an order to, just now on the plane, to strongly protect your state's energy and fracking industry. I just signed it. We have an order so that people cannot play with your fracking industry. You know, it's your biggest. You have 1 million people, and you're a big contributor to the rest of the country. You're a tremendous contributor to the rest of the country. They can't play with it. You know, Biden said for a year, there'll be no fracking, no fracking, no. He must have said it 100 times. Then he lucks out because Elizabeth Warren refused to get out of the race. So Bernie, that's the second time. Is Bernie running again? Fake news, could you tell us? Is Bernie? Bernie's going to run again in 4 years. He's going to get it. Actually, we thought it might be Bernie, right? More intelligence, although, I don't know, with a policy like that, I don't call that great intelligence, right, Congressman, right? If Biden and Harris get in, they will terminate this executive order and implement the Green New Deal, conceived and dedicated by AOC, who probably never took a course on the environment, right? Think she ever took one little course like 101, Environment 101? I doubt it. To change our whole country around, well, it's not going to happen. It's so ridiculous. $100 trillion. I don't think so. A vote for Biden and Harris is a vote to ban fracking, ban mining, and completely destroy Pennsylvania. That's true, by the way. Not going to happen. First of all, we're going to win. You got to get out and vote. We're going to win. A vote for me is a vote to remain energy. We're energy independent now. Think of it. Energy independent. Our economy is now growing at the fastest rate ever recorded, 33.1%. And the fake news doesn't want to talk about it. And a friend of mine, a great financier, called up and he said, hey, how you doing? This is the greatest number maybe ever put out economically. GDP, 33.1. Nobody's ever heard of it. And they hardly... He said, I can't believe this isn't a much bigger story. I said, that's the way it is. They don't want that kind of thing to get out. It's one of the greatest numbers ever revealed in the history of our country. The second number, I think, was 1952, and it was less than half the 33.1. So we have not a V anymore. We have a super V, and that's where we're going. Unless somebody comes along and says, let's quadruple your taxes, let's put all those regulations back. In the past 5 months, we've created a record 11.4 million American jobs. That's another, think of it. It's never been done before. And while foreign nations are in a free fall, and you see that, and we don't want that, but you see what's going on. There's COVID or the China virus or the China plague. There's about 21 different names. We're creating the world's greatest economic powerhouse. And next year will be one of the greatest years, maybe the best year that we've ever had based on what's happening. A recent Gallup poll found, just out, that 56% of Americans say they are better off today than they were 4 years ago with Obama and Biden. And that's rounding the turn, but that's during a pandemic. 56%, that's a record number. 56. You're better off today than you were 4 years ago with Obama. And I watched them today. They draw flies, both of them. I thought maybe they put them together. They draw a couple of horns, honk, 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 and most of them are our people that are taunting. Did anybody see the picture of their crazy bus driving down the highway? They're surrounded by like hundreds of cars, and they're all Trump flags all over the place. What a group. No, it's like a hot thing. See, that's really number one trending. They won't put that. That's number one trending. They come up with number one trending. It's not a trend. It's whatever they want to do. You look at big tech. You look at what's been happening lately, right? You look at the media where they refuse to cover one of the biggest scandals. No, but the biggest scandal is we caught them spying on our campaign, right? We caught them trying to overthrow a duly elected, commonly known as me, President of the United States. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Very dishonest people. You're right. Well, that you're right. There are a lot of people that call that treason. Okay, that's treason. Let's see what happens. If Biden gets in, the economy will collapse. Joe Biden is a diehard globalist who spent the last 47 years outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless foreign wars in countries that many of you have never even heard of. I didn't hear of too many of them either, if you want to know the truth. Biden is a Washington vulture who decimated your steel mills, annihilated your coal jobs, and supported every disastrous sellout trade deal for over a half a century. You know what's happened. You know what I had to do with the dump steel all over the place. They're dumping steel. I put big tariffs on, and all of a sudden the steel mills started doing good. It was a beautiful thing. And we took some of that money, $28 billion we took, and we gave it to our farmers because they were targeted by China. And our farmers like me. Farmers like me. In fact, they just came out with the Des Moines Register poll. Did you see it? We're way ahead in Iowa. We're way ahead in Florida. We're way ahead in Ohio. Way ahead in Ohio. We're doing great in Georgia. Texas, don't even talk. They're saying Texas is in play. I had the same thing 4 years ago. Here's a guy is against oil. he's against guns, and he's against God. I don't think that plays well in Texas. And you know where else it doesn't play too well? In a place called Pennsylvania. No, think of it. Okay, you have Texas. Oil, guns, religion. God, religion. So he's against, think of it. And then they say it's too close to call. No, we're leading by a lot. Same thing happened last time, 4 years ago. It's too close to call. It's not too close to call. And then the polls close. Remember last time the doors closed, the polls closed? And they say, Texas, the doors have closed, the polls have closed in Texas. Donald Trump has won the state of Texas. It was like, by a lot. Oh, I had many of them. I mean, I have them now, but they're better now than they were 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it was like hopeless, except for one thing. Nobody believed it, and they went out and they voted. And all of a sudden, they took this thing. Did you ever see the New York Times? They had a little column, the chance of winning, and I think it started at like 4%. And then as the evening went by and we won state after state, Donald Trump has won the state of Florida, Donald Trump has won Georgia, Donald Trump has won South Carolina, Donald Trump has won North Carolina, Donald Trump, we're just running the East Coast, right? And it goes 3%, 6%, 9%, right? And the chance is 15%. Then it started getting into the 50s. Then the 60s, that's where they started to go totally crazy. Remember that convention? Remember the convention hall? And then you had a couple of non-biased news anchors that started to cry. Did anybody see the debate? No, nobody, right? The last debate we had, right? Did you all watch? I felt like Perry Mason because the last question, I said, you mean you want to get rid of the oil and gas industry? No, we would like to transition out of it. I said, this is the biggest moment. It was like, you know, at Perry Mason, it was always that last question, right? No, I didn't do it. Yes, I did it. That was Sleepy Joe. I said, this is the biggest moment. And even the anchor, Kristen, she looks up at him, she goes, why did you say that? Obviously being on his side. She can't believe that he said it, but that's because he's not too smart. Biden was a cheerleader for NAFTA and China's entry into the World Trade Organization, which is one of the worst things that ever happened to us, not to China. Eliminating half of your manufacturing jobs, many of them came from right here. At every turn, Biden twisted his knife into the backs of Pennsylvania workers. And, you know, during that debate, he'd say, well, why didn't you do this? I said, why didn't you do it? You just left. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do it, Joe? That was like the easiest debate I've ever had. While Biden was giving China your jobs, his family was raking in millions and millions of dollars from the Chinese Communist Party. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician, okay? When his son can sit on a board of Burisma and get $183,000 a month. Now think of this, right? Think of this. If Biden wins, China wins. When we win, America wins. That's what we're here for. And you don't have to take my word for it because I like this group and I love this state. I spent a lot of money on that crazy board up there. Why don't you watch this?
I have never said I oppose fracking.
You said it on tape.
I did. Show the tape. Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Put it on the website.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel. No more, no new fracking. I gradually move away from fracking.
And I think it's critically important on day one that we end any fossil fuel leases on public land.
What about, say, stopping fracking and stopping pipeline infrastructure? And
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. I have one final question.
Would he close down the oil industry? Or would you close down the oil?
By the way, I would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I will transition. That is a big statement.
In terms of business, that's the biggest statement.
Okay.
Because basically what he's saying is he is going to destroy the oil industry. Okay. Will you remember that, Texas? Will you remember that, Pennsylvania?
You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. So vote! Vote! Visit iwill.com/Ohio. God bless you.
Can somebody tell Joe, by the way, it's not a real website, and Joe, you're running for president, not senator, and by the way, that senator, the Mormon guy, is Mitt Romney, not some Mormon governor. Now, sadly, what we showed you, that's just from a couple of hours today, because every time that Joe actually leaves the basement bunker and stays out past 10 a.m., well, disaster ensues. Here's a quick reminder.
Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330. We choose truth over facts. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
This is pretty serious. By the way, these are way beyond an occasional campaign gaffe, and I am beginning, well, I'm more than a little worried that this man could represent a clear and present danger to this country. He's obviously not capable of leading. He's been hiding the entire campaign, and the corrupt media mob is covering for him. Joe wants to be the president of the United States of America. That would be the toughest job in the world, and at times, Joe doesn't seem to remember that he's even running for president, or what state he's in, or what day of the week it is. Does anyone really believe that if elected, that Joe Biden will actually be in control of anything?
What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, he's going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Spooky. Creepy. Creepy Uncle Joe.
Oh, it's funny. It's Joe.
Come on, man. Candy's for the kids.
Maybe he forgot.
Wait a minute. You look familiar. Who are you?
Are we gonna let him get away with this?
She took everything.
Be careful. Joe, this could only happen to me. This could only happen to me. Thank you. In 2016, Pennsylvania voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first. That's okay, right? And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. I guess that's why I got elected. If I don't always play by the rules of Washington and the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fight harder for you than any president has ever fought. I believe that. One of the most important issues in this election is law and order, and you know about it well. You see what's going on in your large city. It's not good. And you have great police, but they're not allowed to do their job. This week, violent mobs of Biden supporters ransacked Philadelphia. Now, 4 members of the city council are pushing very hard to defund the Philadelphia police. They're defunding the police. And they're pushing very hard, and it could happen. It could happen. We're watching. I don't think we'll let it happen. At some point, we can't let it happen. If Biden and Harris are elected, they will pass legislation to slash police funding. They're already trying to do it all over the country. Well, except in Republican cities and states, which are running beautifully without crime. Our opponents stand with take a look at it, the rioters and the anarchists and the looters. We stand with the heroes of law enforcement. We've been endorsed by almost every major law enforcement group in the country. Florida, Texas, New York's finest endorsed us. First time they've ever endorsed a presidential candidate. The Chicago police, that's not easy to do. They endorsed. We have endorsements from everybody. During the debate, I said, Joe, what law group, any police group, anybody looking for law and order, did anybody endorse you? He couldn't answer the question. Then he was bailed out by the anchor, right? He was bailed out. I said, Joe, say the words law and order. He wouldn't do it. He didn't want to lose the radical left. I'm not just running against Joe Biden. I'm running against the left-wing media, the big tech giants, the rhinos. You know what a rhino is, right? Republican in name only. We got a couple of them. There aren't too many of them left. They're on respirators, actually. And the Washington swamp, which is much deeper and much more vicious than we ever thought even possible. On Tuesday, November 3rd, now maybe you do it sooner, but I think this group wants November 3rd. It's called Election Day. Of course, now that our United States Supreme Court has delayed everything, it's going to be a very interesting evening. And I wonder what happens during that period of delay with the ballots. I wonder what happens. Are they going to mysteriously find more ballots, Mr. Congressman? Are they going to find more ballots? Can you imagine what happened? Can you imagine? Just be very careful, be vigilant, and watch, and report whatever you see. Because, you know, this state, we love it. Went to school here, right? Went to college. We love it. But strange things have been known to happen, especially in Philadelphia. So send them a message that they'll never forget. This election is a choice between a Biden depression and a Trump super boom. We're going to have a boom. We're going to have the greatest economy ever. It's a choice between a deadly Biden lockdown. You know, he wants to lock it down. And by the way, tell your governor to open up your state, please. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And open up your schools and get it going. It's terrible. This one, Michigan, how about her? The only one that's allowed to roam free in Michigan is her husband. He can do whatever the hell he wants. Nobody else can. In North Carolina, same thing. They got a great state, great people. They have it locked down. It's just crazy. By the way, on November 4th, he'll announce, ladies and gentlemen, we've decided to open up. See, he thinks he's hurting us politically, and then we have a number like 33.1. It might have been 34.1, okay? I don't think that would have made too much of a difference, but he's hurting a lot of people. It's a choice between a deadly lockdown and a safe vaccine that ends the pandemic, with or without the vaccine. And we're going to have the vaccine. We have the greatest companies in the world, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and others. And we're weeks away from a vaccine, and we're going to give the vaccine. We're going to have it transported by our military all over, logistics all over the country. And it's going to be great. And it's going to be given to our seniors first. I think they have to get it first. And our frontline workers. Free. You know why it's free? Because it wasn't their fault. It was China's fault. And it will quickly eradicate the China virus. And but with or without it, it's going to go away. And we are rounding. It drives them crazy, the fake news media. It's going away. And if you look at Europe, you look what's happening over in Europe, they'd always use that as, look at Europe. Well, take a look at Europe. They have a problem, a big problem, and we don't want that to happen. Thanks to our groundbreaking therapies, our excess mortality rate is 40% lower than Europe's. And right now, cases are surging in Europe despite draconian lockdowns. You know, they've been locking down, and it didn't help them much, that are spreading misery and suffering and destroying those nations. For months, Democrats celebrated as left-wing rioters took to the streets by the thousands. You know, you're allowed to riot. They don't ask about masks. You're allowed to riot. You're allowed to go through, loot, and burn stores, burn down your main streets, burn down the greatest, beautiful, the most beautiful shopping streets. You can do whatever. They can walk out with televisions. Did you see the guy walking out with dishwashers? He's pushing it along the pavement. And the police are told, don't do anything, stand back, stand back. No, we can't do it. Our opponents do not believe in science. They want unlimited power over you and your family. They got to open it up. The so-called experts advising Joe Biden have called for slowing down the vaccine. Can you believe this? Now, if it weren't, in my opinion, so political, they just didn't want to have it come out before the election. But everybody knows it's right there, and we're ready to go. But it became a big political thing, and they were actually trying to discourage people from taking it. It's so bad and so stupid and so dangerous. And these are great companies. These are the greatest companies in the world. They're not listening to anybody but their people. And we have a great, very soon be distributed this great vaccine. But they're willing to hurt our country in order to try and make sure that it doesn't, because we're not looking for credit. We're looking to save lives. We're looking to help our country, help your state, help our country. That's what we're looking to do. Denying priority to elderly patients. They want to deny the priority, imposing crippling lockdowns that will cause, quote, really serious pain. They've said that. One of the politicians said it, really serious pain. The Biden lockdown will imprison you in your home while looters roam free. But you've already gone through that, in all fairness. You're going through it right now. They just don't open up the state. Congressman, you got to get going on this, I'll tell you. You got to get going on this. We have great congressmen here. We got to get going on this. Under Biden, there will be no school, no graduations, no weddings, no Thanksgivings, no Easters, no Christmases, and no 4th of July. Other than that, you're going to have a wonderful life. Now, think of this guy. Ruin American youth. You know, it's been shown that telehealth has been amazing with the computers, with the laptops. It's been great. It's up like 8,000%. The truth is it's great. But, you know, children, this has been proven now because we've had the ultimate test. Children have to go to school. They have to be with other kids. They have to be with classmates. And they don't catch it. Barron Trump, you know Barron Trump, my very tall son. He's strong and he's young. And the doctor said, yes, sir. He tested positive. I said, doctor, tested positive for what? He said, for COVID. You know, he used the COVID word, right? Could he use 21 other words, but he used COVID. And I said, oh, that's terrible. Doctor said, oh, don't worry about it. He'll be all right. 12 minutes later, the doctor called, Barron's okay now, sir. He threw it off like, because they're young and they have great immune systems, stronger than you or you or you. That guy definitely stronger than him. And they got to go back to school, okay? They got to go back to school. Open up Pennsylvania, Governor. If you want a vaccine to kill the virus, a job to support your family, and freedom to live your life the way you want to live your life, vote for a person named President Donald J. Trump. Have you ever heard of him? And the Republican Party. So joining us today are some really great warriors, and they are Congressman Fred Keller. Fred, thank you. Thank you very much. Central Casting, doing a great job. Thank you. And Congressman Dan Muser. Dan, thank you very much. Thank you. Great people. Great people. They worked with us on the impeachment hoax. Now it turned out that it's really a hoax because they found out that I was right when I spoke to the president, right? I told them, I said, if you see anything wrong, please call the Attorney General of the United States. And they had plenty wrong. You look at Biden, he got caught. They call that the laptop from hell. Where's Hunter? Where is Hunter? Remember the T-shirt we made? Where's Hunter? Oh, boy, Hunter. We also have a fantastic person who is running for a congressional seat and is doing very well, I understand. Jim Bognett. Where is Jim? Jim. Good. I hear it's going well, going good. Get out and vote for this guy. He's a star. Going to be great. and a former congressman who's been a early supporter, a great one, Tom Marino. Thank you, Tom. What a great. When are you getting back? Come on back, okay? Great one. And we have another great one. Nobody ever heard of him. Lou Barletta. These are great people. They're incredible people. Thank you both. That's great that you're here. And State Treasurer, candidate Stacey Garrity. Stacey. Thank you, Stacey. I hear you're doing well, Stacey. I think the Republican Party's doing very well. I can tell you one thing. They're really worried because Florida, boom, through the roof. Ohio, through the roof. Georgia's looking phenomenal. Texas, I told you, forget it. It's like great. Texas is so good. The Iowa is looking great. They're all looking good. North Carolina. You know what's looking really good? Pennsylvania. But get out and vote. You know, maybe I should say it's going to be. No, let me take that back. It's not looking good. It's very close. Looks like we're 1 or 2 points behind. It's always good. It's always good. Think you're about a point or two behind, right? These professionals, fellas, right? Think you're a point. I don't want to tell you we're doing good. Let's just say it's very close. Get out and vote on Tuesday. Just get out and vote. But it's true. You never know. You know, we are looking good, and I don't want you to think that. I want you to think it's going to be close. We're looking so good, darling. We don't have to vote today. It's looking great. Oh, that's great. Joe Biden has been a disaster for African Americans and Hispanic Americans. I'm fighting for citizens of every race, color, and creed. We achieved record low African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment rates. Record low unemployment rates for anybody, with a diploma, without a diploma. #1 unit class at MIT, women, everything. We have historic rates. And then we had to close it up and understand the disease, and what they've done is incredible. The ventilators, all of the things that we did. And then we're opening it up now, and it's going to be a super V. They were saying, oh, it won't be a V. Well, now 33.1, it's called a super V. We're going to have the best economic year in the history of our country next year. Unless you elect somebody that wants to do a quadrupling of your taxes. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think so. I signed landmark criminal justice reform, and I announced a platinum plan which will create 3 million new jobs for African Americans and also deliver school choice to any parent that wants it, which is so important. They've been looking to do that for a long time. To protect our security, I suspended the entry of foreign refugees from terror-afflicted nations, if it's okay with you. I mean, you don't mind. I don't think we don't want people from terror-inflicted. Think of this. Biden, in the manifesto, that's the agreement that he made with crazy Bernie Sanders. Well, I shouldn't say that because we get a lot of the Sanders people. You know, people don't realize 4 years ago, we got a big percentage of Bernie Sanders because they agree with me on trade. They know everyone takes advantage of the United States in trade. And we are doing great on trade right now. Biden wants a 700% increase in refugees from the most violent terrorist hotspots on earth, including Syria, Somalia, and Yemen. No thanks, Joe. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, Joe. No, thank you. The people of Pennsylvania aren't thrilled with that. Who the hell's going to vote for this guy? You know, they keep saying it's close. I don't think it's close. But get out and vote. It's close. It's extremely close. It'll be extremely close. Trump wins by 44 points. No, it's close. No, but think of it. He wants to raise your taxes the highest. He wants to let people in from places that you don't want them. We want to have safety and security, and that's why when you talk about suburbia, they were saying women of suburbia. Good, thank you, Doug. That's because they want safety, they want security, and they wanted the regulation terminated. The regulation was, you know what, I don't want to go into it. The regulation is a disaster for suburbia. And you know who's going to head up the regulation project is Cory Booker, of all people. Cory Booker. You too can have a development right alongside of your wonderful house. No, it's no good and no good. Going to bring a lot of problems. It's already done. I mean, you take a look at throughout the country, think where it's been done. And I terminated it. They wanted to amend it. Ben Carson's a wonderful guy. Ben came in, he says, well, he's a wonderful guy. He is. And he ran a good race, too. He's a great guy. He's a nice guy, and he's a great guy, and he's done a terrific job. But he came in and he said, we can amend it a little bit and make it tougher. I said, no, Ben, we got to terminate it. And then I hear the women of suburbia don't like me. I think they love me. I think they do. And when I said that the other day, I said, women of suburbia, I hope you love me. 60 Minutes, she said, you were begging for the love of women. I said, no, I wasn't. I was having fun. But you were begging. Here it is. It's true. I say, women of suburbia, you must love me after what I did. I cut the regulation. You don't know what the regulation was. I love you too. I love you too. Just get out and vote properly. Just do what's right. If you do what's right, we're going to have a big victory. The Biden plan, I mean, this guy had so many years to do all this stuff. All he does is complain. You didn't do this. Or really, why didn't you do it? You just left 3.5 years ago. The Biden plan will open the floodgates to radical Islamic terrorism. You know that. Just take a look. I called President Macron of France. It's terrible what's been happening over there the last week. You've seen what's been happening. And if you don't mind, I'd rather not have it happen over here. Is that okay? Do I have everybody's approval on that? Huh? Even these two veterans are saying, we agree with it. And I'm keeping the terrorists out of our country. And when they come back in, we're getting them the hell out of our country, okay? We invested $2.5 trillion with a T, trillion dollars in the U.S. military when I took over. 4 years ago, can you believe it, almost 4 years ago, our military was depleted from all of these wars and all of the stuff and places so far away and lands that's so far away, and we were depleted. And a very highly overrated general, you've heard me say this, extraordinarily overrated. He came into my office and he said right at the beginning, sir, we have no ammunition. I said, no president should ever have that said to him again. And we built a brand new military with new planes and new rockets. Right? Hypersonic. That's 7 times faster than our very fast one. So fast you can't see it. Can't do anything with it. If it's aimed in the wrong direction, you got problems, I'll tell you. And submarines, and all of the things we're doing, we've never had anything like it. We are the envy of the world. Russia, China, North Korea. We're the envy of the world. We have the greatest equipment in the world. We used to have planes, fighter jets. They go to the desert where they have what they call the graveyard, the plane graveyard, and they take parts off old planes and bring them in. Now we have brand new F-35 stealth, super stealth. Many others. It's amazing. We've rebuilt our military. It's never been so good. Never been. We've never had equipment like this, the best equipment anywhere in the world by far. And we saved a place called the Philadelphia Shipyard. I don't think you've ever heard of that. And Biden, if he comes in, will shut it down. He's going to shut it down. He'll shut down a lot of this stuff. We also passed VA choice and VA accountability. That's pretty great, right? They've been trying to get that done for 40 some odd years. Last night, at my direction, the United States military conducted a successful operation to rescue an American hostage who was kidnapped just a short while ago. U.S. Special Forces brilliantly executed a daring nighttime movement. It was incredible. I've seen it. It was incredible. And we had no casualties, no injuries. No, we had no casualties, no injuries, no nothing. Incredible. These are incredible people. These are incredible people, and they love our country. But they went in, and the other side did have a lot of casualties. And we got our citizen, our American citizen out, and on our way here. And it was an incredible operation. People said, oh, that can't be done. These guys looked at me like, sir, this is easy. It's a different kind of person, right? Different kind of person. We owe a lot. Special Forces Over the last 4 years, we've rescued a record 55 hostages and detainees in more than 24 countries. And we don't pay. We don't pay. Once you pay, it'll go up 100-fold. You can't pay. You have to go get them. Yesterday's operation should serve as a stark warning to terrorists and thugs who try and kidnap our people, kidnap our citizens. You cannot escape the long reach of American justice, and that's what happened. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. They've been looking for him for 18 years. We took out the mass murder of U.S. troops and many other troops and a lot of people. Soleimani is dead. #1 terrorist. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal, $150 billion. You know what we got? Nothing. We got nothing. I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. And I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. 52 years they've been negotiating that. I did it in 2 hours, and it was a good place. Every president wanted to do this stuff. Every president. Jerusalem, they all wanted to do it. They all said they were going to do it. They got into office. They never had the guts to pull the trigger and do it. And I got the building built, too, by the way. You know that story. We got it built for a tiny fraction of what people thought it would cost. Tiny fraction. But it's too long a story, and it's too cold to be talking about the building. The heck with it, right? And instead of endless wars, we are forging peace in the Middle East. We have already 3 countries and many more lined up. No more blood in the sand. No more crazy money spent all over the place. No, we did it the opposite way that John Kerry and these people that were not smart. In fact, they were grossly incompetent. I said, you know how I started? I said, how did Kerry do it? This way. Okay, whatever he did, do the opposite. And it worked. We have a lot of them all lined up. You're going to have peace. You're going to have peace in the Middle East for nothing and no blood. I talk no blood in the sand. There's blood all over that sand. There's no blood in the sand. I'm proud to be the first president in decades who has started no new wars. No new wars. But if we ever do start a war, we'll finish it, and we'll finish it victoriously. We won't be playing games. A vote for me and the Republican Party is a vote to save our beautiful American dream. It's an American dream, and we've lost sight of that over a long period of years, if you think. Remember I came out and campaigned, I was up here, I said, you will say Merry Christmas again, right? The department stores, they were saying Happy New Year, everybody. You know, the snow and the red and the white, everything perfect. But they didn't want to say Merry Christmas. I said, you're going to say Merry Christmas. And now they're all saying Merry Christmas again. And we, remember, are the party of the late, great Abraham Lincoln, right? The late, great Abraham Lincoln. Over the next 4 years, in conclusion, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we will end our reliance on China once and for all. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. We will defend the right to life, religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms, our Second Amendment. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, already signed January 1st, goes into effect, bigger than health care, you watch. Lower drug prices even more, favored nations clause. We paid for years and years the most expensive by far in the world. Now we're going to pay the same as the lowest. And the drug companies do not like me too much, I will tell you. They're not a big fan of your president. They can't even believe I did it. Favored nations, we pay the lowest price in the world, protect Social Security and Medicare, and we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Always, always, it's protected. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. And NASA NASA is now again the talk of the world. Space Center, the talk of the world. It was boarded up, shut up. The runways they had grass growing through the cracks. It's an amazing place. And, you know, we let very rich people, they like sending up rockets. I said, let them send up all the rockets they want. Let them pay for it. We'll lease them their sites and let them go out and have a lot of fun. They'll become a little less wealthy, and that's okay. They don't mind. But they love sending up rockets, and we're doing things that nobody can even believe. And with Space Force, it's so necessary. So we're very proud of it. And Mike Pence has done a fantastic job on it. That's it. Really done a fantastic job. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Pennsylvania, who I know very well. And you know, if we win Pennsylvania, it's over. You know that, right? Okay. Now you bet. I'm freezing up here. I'm freezing. You better get out and vote. Sir, you lost by just a few votes in Pennsylvania. I say, what the hell did I make that trip for? You know, they said, you know, we could cancel if you'd like. It's been a long day. You know, I started this day very early. I said, no, I don't have the courage to tell these people. There's no. Not only did we not, we're giving you the full treatment. We're giving you the full treatment. I could have done one of those, hey, folks, how you doing? Everybody good? Good. I'll see you later. Nah, we don't do that. But you get out there and vote because your country's at stake. You have the power with your vote to save the American dream for your children, for your grandchildren. But you have to get out and vote on November 3rd. We must finish the job and drain the swamp. We've done a lot of work on it, but it's deeper and more vicious than anybody thought. It's more vicious. Look at what's happening with these big tech companies and with, nobody told me this stuff. But you know what? They can't believe what we've done. We have come through situations that's amazing. You know, they cannot, look at them. They're sitting there, they can't believe. One of the reasons I also came is I wanted them to stand there all night in this freezing wind. Now, but it is an honor. I'll tell you what, I know this part of the state, and I know it, and you have just incredible people. There's no way I would have had the courage to say, let's not do that tonight. We'll do it some other time. There's no way we do that stuff. We don't do that stuff. We don't do that stuff, especially to you. For generations, America's destiny was made, forged, and won in places like Johnstown and Pittsburgh, Erie and Altoona, Bethlehem and Montoursville. It's a nice name. Our American ancestors gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up those great, beautiful skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world. And the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. I mean that too. The potential we have, unless we blow it by putting people that have no clue in charge. He has no clue. He's shot. Let's face it. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. That's what's happening. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working, we're going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Pennsylvania, we have made America powerful again. Our military. We have made, look at what's happening with your 401ks. Oh, in the midst of a problem, look at those 401ks. Somebody else, you would have had nothing. You would have had a piece of paper. You would have been throwing it away, and it's going up a lot. Our headwind is Joe Biden. That's the only headwind we have to get it up. He's a headwind, believe it or not. Let's call him, we have a great new name, Joe Headwind. He's a headwind on the stock market, because if he gets in, the market will crash. That's not what the market wants to hear. We're going to quadruple taxes. We're going to drive out every company that's come back into this land. No, he's a headwind. He really is. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Pennsylvania. Get out and vote. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you all for joining us. That concludes day number one of President Trump's tour in Pennsylvania. Tomorrow he will be all over the place. He'll be in North Carolina tomorrow. We'll be from North Carolina to Iowa, up to Michigan, pretty much everywhere in between. 5 rallies tomorrow, 5 rallies on Monday, and that'll wrap it up. He'll wrap it up in Grand Rapids. So we have 10 more to go, and we need you to get out and vote just like the president said. I know things are looking good right now, but we can't be complacent. We can't think we've got it wrapped up. We all have to get out and vote. We're going to send it back to Brick here in just a second. But first, I want to thank you. You may have noticed lately some of the changes in our broadcast. Our production quality has gotten better, and that's all thanks to you. You've enabled us to be able to travel the country. We haven't missed one of these rallies yet. We've been to all of them, and that is very tough for a small company like us. So thank you for getting us to these events. Thank you for believing in us. This is your network. You built it. We're not supported by large investors. We are supported only by you, and we can't thank you enough for all you've done. This is your network, and we thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. If you want to support us and help us continue to get there, rsbnetwork.com/donate is the best way to do it. We're going to be traveling all around the country with the president. If you think that he's going to stop doing rallies once he wins on November 3rd, you're wrong, because I remember the victory tour in 2016. We're just getting started. So let's all just enjoy this moment. We've got 72 hours or so. Let's get out and vote and get the job done. I'm going to send it back to Brick here in just a second. God bless. Have a great night. We'll see you back early tomorrow morning from Washington, Michigan. Good night.
All right, so the president has wrapped up another day of rallies on a hectic schedule that's seeing him do 14 rallies in 3 days. 14 rallies in 3 days, and we're going to try and bring them all to you. The only way that we can do that, though, is with your support. So what I'd like to do now is tell you about our newest partner who is supporting us. Times have been rough for everyone, and that's why we're even more excited to announce our newest partner. You may have guessed it via our hints on social media. You may have seen it earlier today or perhaps last night in Rochester, but we can proudly say that we here at RSBN are officially partnering with the one and only Mike Lindell, CEO of MyPillow. He's one of our favorite patriots, and we're glad he's on board with us. And we know that getting a restful night's sleep is crucial to waking up on the right side of the bed. And make sure your sleep is as luxurious as possible with any of the MyPillow products. They've got over 100 products to choose from, ranging from travel pillows to dog beds, memory foam mattress toppers, the new Giza Dream Sheets with the Egyptian cotton, and more. So check out their entire inventory at www.mypillow.com. That's www.mypillow.com, and you can use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your entire order. That's up to 66% off your entire order with code RSBN at checkout at mypillow.com. Now, the way that we can get to all these rallies, the way that we can give you this coverage where we could send a camera and a crewman and sometimes 2 crewmen and 2 cameras to all of these rallies is because you are making donations that support us. We're a small company. We don't have a lot of resources. We depend upon your donations to do this. And the way you can get those donations to us, the easiest way, is to rsbnetwork.com/donate. That's rsbnetwork.com/donate. Of course, the YouTube Super Chat donations work as well. We greatly appreciate those. And you can also mail us a donation if you'd like at RSBN at 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. So, I don't know if you notice here, but the gloves are off. I'm not wearing the gloves anymore because one thing I saw tonight that I haven't seen in previous rallies, President Trump is really going at Joe Biden. I think Joe is out of the basement now, pretending that he can actually go on the campaign path and actually speak coherently at 3 rallies a day. We know it's not true. We saw it yesterday, and Courtney Holland, if you're out there, I saw your meme on the Jumbotron, the famous So Biden, the wheels falling off the cart. I think we've known that for some time. I mean, people are saying Joe Biden is sick. People are saying that, and there might be something to that. I mean, we have witnessed his decline, and if you go back and you look at just the tapes of him talking in the Senate 10 years ago, if you look at the difference, it's night and day. He's not well. The president says he's shot. I believe that there is something to that. I don't believe that he is capable of being the president, discharging the duties as well as he should. And even on the Jumbotron, the specter of Kamala, and specter is a good word. I mean, the horror of Kamala being president was raised. President Trump talked about the new order he mentioned to protect fracking. He talked about the Super V recovery that they're undergoing. He did mention that Biden will be a disaster for minorities. And that's another thing, too, is that people shouldn't settle for Joe Biden. Don't settle for Biden. President Trump is the answer here. We need to protect our country. We need to keep our freedoms. And if we don't get President Trump into office again, those freedoms will be greatly eroded to the point where we may not even recognize our country anymore. So I'd like to close by just reminding you all to go out and vote. I've got my sticker right here. I knew I was voting on the road. I voted in person in San Diego before I came out here. It's so important. It can't be overstated how important it is in this election. This is not like the election of 2016. It's more important, and it's absolutely more important than the ones that went before it. We don't have a choice between things that are very similar here. There's very big differences. We either stay the course and vote for America, show our love for our country and our patriotism by keeping it going, or we don't, or we give up, or we let the communists take over, the socialists, the Democrats, who will do everything they can to remake the country that we love in the image of what they want it to be, which is subservient, which is really the antithesis of freedom. The freedoms we will have will only be the ones that they say we can have. And that's what we've got to avoid. So I'm Brick Suit, signing off for now. We've got rallies coming up tomorrow. I'll give you the quick rundown. Macomb County, Michigan at 11. Dubuque, Iowa at 1, Hickory, North Carolina at 5:30, Rome, Georgia, then Opa-locka, Florida, and then you'll see me again one last time before the election on Monday. I'll be at Scranton at 2 p.m. So that's it. Brick Suit signing off from here, from Montoursville, Pennsylvania, where President Trump is going to go after 20 electoral votes in the state. I believe he'll get them, and I believe he'll be our president once again.
Hello, I'm Father Frank Pavone of Priests for Life. Are you tired of the lies that his opponents tell about President Trump? He puts kids in cages, he's racist, he doesn't have a plan to fight the virus. Well, so am I. So I've set up a website called electionhonesty.com, which says 12 of the most common lies and helps you to refute them. Go to electionhonesty.com today and spread it to others. And remember, support Right Side Broadcasting.